we're going to do today is we're starting Module 7. Everybody should have completed 6 by yesterday. So we're going to go through Module 7. I do want to go over some content. Module 7 is about mind, body, and spirit. Can somebody just close that for me, please? So this is not just when you think about mind, body, spirit. This is your mental, it's not just your physical health, but it's also your mental health and the connections that you have, which is a big, huge part of having good mental health is the connections you have with people, right? So, all right, so that, I'm going to kind of segue into what I want to talk to you guys about, but I just want to go through this content first so that you guys know what we're doing for this module. So as usual, you have your readings and you have your lecture content that you guys need to do. So you have your discussion question, you have an assignment, and you have your module quiz as usual. So when you guys are doing your discussion question, I want you to, you're going to think, you're going to process, you're going to act, you're going to reflect. All right, so what I would like for you guys to do is I want you to think about something that you can do that is just kind of random, that is being kind to someone else. All right?
Like giving money to a homeless guy?
It could be. Or it could be seeing an old person in the grocery store that needs help getting their groceries in their car. It could be seeing a teacher with their arms full and going and open the door, or saying, hey, is that too heavy for you, Miss L? You want to carry that? You may carry that to your class. Which, I mean, I have a chunk of you guys that are ROTC in here, and you guys are always really good about that. You know, y'all are just very giving when it comes to assistance to people. So I want you to think about what you could do something as a random act of kindness, and then I want you to, in your discussion question, I want you to share what your random act of kindness was. I want you to talk about what it was like planning what you wanted to do, doing it, and then reflecting upon how it impacted you. You can give a summarization and a reflection. All right, remember the difference between summarization, recapping, reflection, internal processing. All right, so, and remember you also do need to respond to your classmates as normal. So, this is what you're going to do with, y'all are all familiar with your discussion questions, but I just wanted to go ahead and answer those questions up front. Any questions about that? Okay. Let's look at your assignment. So the assignment is called Mind, Body, and Spirit, but I don't want you to kind of think about it that way. What I want you to do is I want you to think about someone that has had an impact on you. Okay? It could be a grandparent. It could be a religious leader. It could be a mentor. It could be your best friend. It could be anybody, but somebody that has made an impact on you and your life. All right, and you are going to write them a gratitude letter, thanking them for being part of your life and what they've done. Then, what you're going to do is you are going to upload, let me back up. Then what you're going to do is you're going to go and you're going to either meet this person face to face, or you can, if they are out of state, you can do it with, a FaceTime call or something, but you're going to share that letter with the person. And then what you're going to do for the assignment is you are going to reflect upon that engagement with that person. All right, so you will be submitting the letter itself, and then you're going to be submitting that reflection. So in the reflection, you just need to talk about the overall experience. I wrote this letter. Maybe maybe the experience of writing the letter kind of gave you some aha epiphany moments that is like, wow, you know, they really did this. And this really changed me that way. And then reflecting on the experience of sharing it with them. How did it impact them as well? All right, so that's what the assignment is. You have the rest of this week over the weekend to get that done. It's not completely due into me until the end of next week. So you've got some time to process and think about what you want to do, who you're going to write this to. You have time to write it and get with them over the weekend. This is a perfect weekend coming up since we have Easter this weekend. Maybe you have an aunt or an uncle or a grandparent or somebody. So kind of just things happen for reasons. It just kind of fell in alignment with that. So remember to take the time with the coffee, right? So this is one of those coffee moments. So think about that and get that done, and then you'll have next week to write the reflection on it and you need both the reflection and the letter submitted to you. All right, any questions on that? Quiz, you know the standard with the quiz. All right, so I want to mute this, leave it up. I want to talk to you guys about your futures. All right, so you guys you got a little bit of time before you graduate, because most of you guys are 10th graders in here. But I want to put some things out there for you that to help you prepare and address and cope with what you've got coming up. So when you guys graduate from high school, you know, it's all exciting. I don't have to come to West Nassau anymore, and I get to do what I want to do, and blah, 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 blah. But depending upon where you're going and what you're doing, you're going to have different challenges that you're going to face. Some of you may be going into the military. Those of you that go in the military, you're not going to have a lot of the same challenges, because, you know, they're telling you, 0700 you're doing this, 0730 you're doing this. And you've got a group of people that you're going through basic with, and then you go to A school with, and, you know, so you already have like a lot of built-in friend time, your food's provided for you, you know, so you're gonna have a whole different mental capacity that you're gonna have to deal with that. Those of you that are leaving high school, maybe you already, by the time you graduate, maybe you already have a job that you really love, and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna do this for a career. You graduate from high school and you start working and you save some money, you move on your own. You're gonna have a different set of challenges too. That's not what I'm addressing with this. All right, where I want to focus on are the people that are going to continue into college. All right, and that's where I want to focus and get you guys prepared for that. The people that are going to continue and finish their degree at FSCJ, you guys are going to have a different set of challenges that are people that are gonna move away from home as a true freshman are gonna have. And I'm gonna talk about these separately. So let's first look at the people that are gonna stay at home. You're gonna finish your 2-year degree. You're gonna go to a university, or maybe you're gonna finish your 2-year degree and you're doing diesel mechanic school, or you're doing cosmetology, or you're becoming a nurse, or something along those lines. You guys will finish there and you will go out into your career field. You are going to be at a smaller school, so you're going to have a lot of peers that you're going to get to know. You're not going to have the challenges that you're going to have to figure out how you're going to feed yourself and do your laundry and all of that. So you're gonna have an easier transition time as far as that goes. But what you guys are gonna face that's gonna be a challenge is gonna be, because if you are staying here, you're gonna have friends that picked a different route, that they may not be doing the same thing you are. They are going out, they're going to get a job, they're making, you know, $35,000–$40,000 a year. Maybe they're still living at home, so they have all this excess time and all this excess income. And they're like, well, Sophia, let's go to the such and such concert, or let's go down and spend the weekend at Disney. And Sophia's like, I can't. I don't have that kind of money to do that. I have, and I've got, you know, I've got chemistry to study for, or I've got, you know, calculus tests or something. So what happens is you're going to start having that peer pressure that people that you were tight with for 13 years coming up through school in Callahan, that they're going to go, but come and do this with me. So you're going to have these distractions. And sometimes you have really good friends who are going to be supportive and go, hey, I understand 1,000%, and, you know, I'm going to support you. And yeah, that's what you need to do. Let me know when you have time and we'll do something. All right, those are your friends. You're going to have some people, they're going to go, well, you're just being selfish. You don't ever spend time with me anymore. And that's where emotionally, that's going to be hard on you, because that's not your intention. Your intention is that you're financially obligated to this, and it's a strain. And, you know, if there's somebody that you really care about that relationship with, you need to sit down and talk to them and go, hey, you know, it's not you that I need to do this, and I've got to do this on a timeline. This is a short-term, you'll hear me say this a lot, short-term pain for long-term gain. So you got this little short-term pain here, and, you know, as soon as I'm finished with this, I will have some free time and we can start doing things together again. And if they don't understand that, then maybe that's not the friendship you need to be developing. Okay, so that's kind of a painful emotional turmoil. And I know you guys still have a few more years, but these are things that I want you to be prepared for. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but it's a possibility. All right, so the people that are going straight into a 4-year university as true freshmen, and then you're gonna have people that are gonna transfer into a university with a AA degree, you're gonna have a different avenue. And these still have some differences, but that's where I want to kind of like go and focus on with you guys. I just had, you know, one of these senior moments, something I want to throw in before I go down that journey, and I want to stay on this journey. Don't feel that if you stay here that you're missing out on stuff. FSCJ is a great school. All the professors are not great. Some of them are, okay? If you need something math related, go take Matthew Simmons. He is the best math teacher I have ever seen in my entire life. He's phenomenal. So if you have something that you've got to get math done, go to Yulee campus and get him. He can take you through all of your algebras, all the way through your calculuses. He's great. But some of you are going to feel isolated. All right, you may have friends that you see that are going to school, so you're not going to feel as isolated as these people are, but just know that you have a goal. Meet people, all right, which is going to be my ultimate thing I'm getting to. All right, so let me segue back over here. All right, so you're going to a university, you're going 200, 300, 400, 500 miles away from home. You're all excited, you graduate, and then that summer you're getting everything prepared and all of your stuff, and then your parents take you and you go down and you get your dorm room all fixed up and it's all beautiful and you're just, oh, this is so exciting, I cannot wait, this is just the best thing ever. And then your family leaves. And now you're sitting in this big, beautiful dorm room all by yourself. And you feel very lonely. and you feel very isolated. And it's gonna feel that way, okay? And it's okay to feel that way. Don't let it get to you. We're gonna talk about this, all right? So, there's a couple things you need to do. And it's okay to cry, okay? Because you're gonna want to. You're gonna go, why did I do this? I should have just stayed at home. Then you're gonna go to class. And you're gonna go, okay, well, maybe I can do this. And then you don't wanna go to the cafeteria because you have to eat by yourself, right? It's rough. You go home that night, call home, go, I wanna come home. I don't like it here, blah, 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 blah. But you have to get through that. The next day, you get up, you go to class. Maybe you see somebody that was in another one of your classes. If you don't that day, you probably will the next day because you're gonna have the same class as Wednesday that you had on Monday. And you see somebody, all right? You need to go, hey, that's a face. I've seen that face, okay? Come up with some excuse to go speak to that person. Maybe that person has on a shirt from a band that you like, or a football team, or maybe they have, you know, Hello Kitty on their backpack or stickers or something. Come up with some reason to go and introduce yourself to that person and go, hey, I saw you in class, you know, the other day, or I saw you, do you have blah, blah, blah on Tuesdays? And come up with a connection with them. And if that person kind of shuts you down, don't let that kill you. You need to make another connection. Try to find somebody else. You wanna go get some Starbucks? You wanna go to the cafeteria together? So you need to try to come up with something, and then you're gonna feel better. You're going, hey, I did this. Is that person necessarily gonna say your friend? No, they might, but they might not, but it's somebody that, worst case scenario, at least you have contact for somebody in that class. All right? These are the things you need to do. Also, you need to go out. You need to see, every college has many, many different groups. If you like to play pickleball, go find a pickleball club on campus. If you like to play Valorant, then go find a gaming club. There's a zillion of, there's board game clubs. There's people that like to kayak or hike. Go find some of these things, and you will start finding people that you have interests with. All right? Chances are, as a freshman in the gen ed classes, you're gonna have classes that, you know, there may be 24 English classes. So you may not meet somebody in one of those classes. So the going into different groups and stuff is a good way. If you're living on campus and you're in the dorms, join the chats. You're gonna have RA meetings, you're gonna have activities in your dorm. So maybe somebody that you meet in your dorm, maybe have a complete polar opposite major as you, but you both like, you know, something in common, and they become your friend. You start having meals together. Maybe you decide you want a room together the following year. If you're transferring in as a junior, you're gonna have people that you're gonna go classes with that you're gonna see, because you're gonna be in your content area. All right, so you're a nursing major, you're gonna see these people. You're an art major, you're gonna see these people in the same buildings, some of the same classes. You're gonna see a lot of faces, and you're gonna have those kind of people available to you easier when you get into that level versus just clubs and things. But I'm gonna tell you this, all right? It's scary, but it is one of the largest times that you are gonna have an opportunity to grow. And it's so worth it. You're gonna have to make decisions about, am I gonna turn these socks inside out and wear them again? Or do I need to go do laundry? You gotta work that out in your schedule along with your homework time. If you have a meal plan, you know, go into that cafeteria. Sometimes the food in some of the schools is really, really bad. Valdosta, food is horrible. All right, UNF, the food is phenomenal. okay? I would go there now just to go and eat, because the food is phenomenal. We'll go to the next module and the what's next, and we'll talk about some specifics about being at the school and stuff, but right now I'm just trying to get you guys prepared for what you have to think about. So, you're gonna have to do a lot of grown-up things that you may not have to do living at home. You wake up in the morning and you go out to your car, if you have a car, okay? I have a daughter that's in Tampa that doesn't have a car. But let's say that she did, and she got up and has a flat tire. She's gonna have to deal with trying to get a tow truck or get somebody to fix the tire. You got a lot of grown-up things that you got to do for that. But again, these things that are gonna scare the poop out of you are the things that is gonna be the most rewarding. You're gonna come home for the summer the following year, after you've been there a year, and you're gonna like go, wow. You're either gonna A, appreciate all the things that your parents do for you, or B, you're gonna go, I really don't wanna be here because I have no freedom whatsoever. But one way or the other, you're gonna have a lot of growth that's gonna take place, but you can't let the unknown scare you. You really need to embrace it, and again, once it's scary, it will be, it's gonna be, but you need to embrace that and push through. Don't let the unknown and the scariness defeat you, and at the end of the first semester go, I'm not staying in college, I'm leaving, I'm going home. And then you get home, it's like, I don't know what I'm doing for myself. Just again, short-term pain for long-term gain, right? You gotta have the little hard, scary stuffs, but it's so good. You guys got any questions?
What was it like for you whenever you first started college?
So when I started college, I went to JU and I was at home and I commuted. But the major that I was in, I had to take classes every semester because I had double major. I was a dance major and I was a communications major. So I didn't really meet a lot of people in my communications classes. Maybe I didn't give it that shot because I was on a dance scholarship. I had to take dance classes every day, so I immediately had that friend group. And some of the people that I met there are still my best friends. We don't see each other, we don't live near each other, but it's still, I can still call and talk to them, and, you know, a couple of them. When I went to grad school in New York, one of my friends was up there working as a dancer in New York, and we would meet every week. We'd have coffee together or lunch together or grab a slice of pizza. So I had that, but I missed out. I felt like I missed out on a lot of stuff by not living on campus. So if you have that opportunity, it's a fun time. It really is. It's scary, but it's fun. All right, we good? Anybody any questions? I know we have lunch coming up, so that's all I'm gonna talk about today, and then when you guys get back in from lunch, then we'll get started on 7. All right?